Seasonal Impressions, Summer 2019.
Hello, I'm Orestria, and I'm going to make a video? I used to do this. I decided for today that I'm going to talk about anime. The truth is, with anime, I've always come kind of in and out of knowing what's in the zeitgeist and following it actively. I added watching anime to my to-do list because it's good listening practice for my Japanese study, and it can reinforce, like, oh, I just studied that vocabulary word and I just heard a person say it in the show and now I remember it forever. Like shiawase. And here's the thing. I don't know if it's because I added it to my to-do list and started watching anime more regularly, or if summer 2019 was just kind of awesome. But summer 2019 was awesome. And I kept up with weekly watching of more shows than I think I've ever kept up with. I'm not quite as into fall 2019, but we'll talk about that, in theory, next season. Rather than talk about shows as they air, I decided to talk about them after the season was over so I can kind of reflect on it. Of course, did I watch everything? No. Especially if it's a continuation of something where I didn't see the first season yet, then I didn't watch it. There's certain genres I'm more interested in, certain genres I'm less interested in, and sometimes if I heard enough terrible shit about something, I just didn't try. I will say, feel free to comment if there's a show you think I completely slept on and I should absolutely watch. You can comment here on YouTube. You can also find me on the Tales from My D&D Campaign Discord. I'm fairly active. If you live in North America, I'm fairly active while you're asleep. But still. Let's start. Some of these shows are still airing. Like, they started in summer, but they're still ongoing into fall. Like Dr. Stone, which is my personal pick for the best anime of summer 2019. You're supposed to, put the number 1 at the end, right? Fuck it. Dr. Stone is awesome. Dr. Stone is a Shonen Jump show, which I would say I was really into Shonen Jump in, high school and university, and less so now, but this one is not your standard Shonen Jump property. It's not just, this fighting show with all these battles. In fact, there's been very few fights in the show. And it has a really unique premise. Here's the thing with anime. You can have a really interesting premise, and it's just a terrible bog standard show. You can have an absolutely terrible premise, but somehow it's an amazing show. Actually getting the batshit premises with the quality show doesn't happen as often as I'd like, but this is that situation. One day, just every person on the planet Earth turns to stone. Several thousand years later, one of them comes out of his stone shell, and he is the most know-it-all science nerd of all science nerds, and he just decides that he is going to take humanity from the Stone Age to the modern era. I don't want to get into it much more than that because things progress kind of quickly, but yeah, it's real good. It's really funny. It's one of the rare cases where the person who wrote the manga is not the person who drew the manga, and the manga style, it's kind of amazing that they were able to translate it into anime, because it was all about these facial expressions, non-standard facial expressions, off-model moments, and they really built that into the show. For me, I like that there are a lot of female characters as well as male characters. I'm predictable that way. Don't know why every girl has decided that the Stone Age is the it time to have mini skirts and dresses slit up the seam. But you know what? You do you. Up here we have Enen no Shobutai. I did not watch this. Is it alright to pick up girls in a dungeon? I want to watch the first season, but I haven't yet, so I did not watch this. Okay, Vinland Saga is probably the biggest show of the season that I did not watch. My understanding is that it's kind of, it fills that itch if you're missing more Berserk. It's like a historical drama with Vikings, and like there's bloody warfare and really detailed stuff. And there are certain things that I was into when I was younger that I've just found myself less and less into as I've grown up into an adult. And ultraviolence is kind of one of those things. I'm still pretty okay with it. Like, I watched Attack on Titan and wasn't too bothered, but I just kind of didn't feel like watching it. And now all the comments are just people telling me to watch Vinland Saga. Arifureta, I heard absolutely terrible things about this. Well, I'm aware of people who are watching this for the ironic value, so maybe I should try it for that. But I'm mostly not watching isekai shows unless I have a particular reason I think I would like it or I hear really great things about it. Next. Danberu Nankido Moteru is awesome. I watched all of Danberu. I have sung the opening and end theme very poorly in karaoke because I did not expect all the English words to be in katakana, and I can't read katakana that fast. The show does have one major issue where the premise of, like, the main character being kind of chubby and needing to lose weight is really painful because this is the main character I'm talking about. She's skinnier than me. She's not really drawn like she's large. Like, she's larger than the other girls, but I think she's still a small person. So if you get really hung up on that, it can be kind of unwatchable. But I actually found it really funny. It's just about, like, weightlifting. It isn't ecchi. So, like, when they're describing how to properly do an exercise, usually the demonstration is of a girl, and she'll be in a small amount of clothing doing the exercise, and the camera's like, it'll improve your pecs, and there's, like, a line going right here, like, look at her pecs! For me, I found those ecchi moments really funny. Like, I found the humor in, like, it'll make your neck beautiful, and there's, like, a naked woman being like... But if any ecchi at all is a no deal for you, then this show's a no deal. But I found it really funny. And after the end credits, they have, like, a, okay, do the exercise we taught you how to do for like 20 seconds. And I was actually doing it. So, like, if it was go do side bends, I would go do side bends. And it was really encouraging because you had all these anime characters being like, you can do it! 10 more! Yes! I don't know, I think I got fit off of this show. This show will make you swole. This is... Do you like my mom's something something? Did not watch. Why? Isekai. I actually heard some okay stuff about this one. This is... It's a slice of life with high school girls talking about romance and sex. I maybe should watch it, but, yeah. I think there's, like, a scene in the first episode where she walks in on her crush jerking it or whatever, and I think it's a great show to exist, and I don't think I need it. Isekai Cheat Magician. Isekai did not watch. Kanata no Astra. Did not watch this. Did not watch this. I think it's related to a series where I haven't really watched any of them. Ecchi Comedy Harem Show. Did not watch that. Accelerator. Did not watch that. I think that's also related to a series that I haven't watched the other ones of. It's like an isekai, or at least a fantasy world, and he just, like, adopts the little girl, and I didn't watch that. Season 2 of something I didn't watch, so I didn't watch that. Copcraft, I watched one episode and I stopped. It's trying for this, like, gritty cop drama thing, and it was just... If you're gonna be wacky, I can forgive a ton of stuff. But if you're trying to be serious and you kind of can't make your show feel real and grounded when the whole point is to be gritty and real. So this guy's, spoilers for the first episode, this guy's partner is killed right in front of him, and the chief of police, like, is like, I'll contact his wife, and the partner's like, no, I'll contact his wife, and the chief of police lets him, which is never going to happen in any universe, ever. And he doesn't go talk to the woman. He just calls her. And then we just see her collapse into tears, and then that's the end of that scene, and that's the end of that character, and that's the end of almost that plot line. And, like, the chief of police was like, you need to go on, you need to go on a break. You need to be off duty for a while because you need to recover from this thing. Yes. And then the next day it's like, where's the report? And oh, by the way, you need to come into work. And the reason, he's like, I'm sorry, you should be on administrative break so that you can deal and cope with this, but we have this special person coming from the wherever place. This, like, fucking, I don't, what the fuck was she? This chick. Alternate world knight Tirana? Alright. So, they're like, we have this noble coming from the other side of the transdimensional portal, and you're the only person who speaks that language, so you have to be the one to go meet her. And 2 seconds after meeting her, it's revealed that she speaks Japanese or English or whatever they're speaking perfectly well. And it's like, this doesn't happen in real life. You don't accidentally not know that the person doesn't speak English. And again, if this show had a different, if it had a different vibe, if it had a different atmosphere, if it was a bit more wacky, I could deal with all these incongruities. But if you're trying to be gritty, then you kind of have to be realistic in some way. Like, I know we're dealing with an interdimensional portal. You can be gritty and have an interdimensional portal, but just all this, like, interpersonal stuff that was so unrealistic. This is an isekai? I did not watch it. Given. So, it's not listed here as part of the genre, but this is a BL. It's pretty light on the BL. Like, you're not going to be seeing boys kissing every episode, or, like, hardly at all. The main focuses are, like, the music and the interpersonal drama. Because the one of the two guys of what becomes, like, the couple dealt with some trauma very recently in his past. So it's them getting to know each other and getting to understand each other. And, like, when you're someone like me who watches a genre like BL, because it's kind of a niche genre, especially the stuff that actually gets made into anime, like, there's a ton of manga, but the stuff that actually gets made into anime, there's not that much of it. And you just kind of end up judging it on a different scale than you would judge normal shows. So something I might consider a great BL show maybe wouldn't be a great show. Like, I love Love Stage. I'm literally looking at my wall scroll of Love Stage right now, but it's not necessarily something that you can broadly recommend to anybody. Recommend to people who like BL, absolutely, but just, it's not a kind of general recommendation. I think Given is actually a good enough show that it can just be a general recommendation. If you just want to watch a nice interpersonal, small-scale, slice-of-life drama type show, this is great. Oh, this is the Beasts one. I saw a review of this and didn't feel like I wanted to watch it. Didn't watch this. Didn't watch this either. Didn't watch this. Granbelm, I watched, I think it was 2 episodes. The first episode, I didn't really know what's going on, but that's not too unusual with first episodes of things, because sometimes they're trying to get you hooked without necessarily explaining everything. And there was kind of an art direction to it that I really liked. And then the second episode, or maybe it was the third episode, I don't know how much I watched. It was kind of like, okay, we're in Japan, we're in our school uniforms, and we're just going to talk about it and explain what's happening. And I was like, I don't want this. I also watched a few episodes of Bem, maybe even like 5 episodes of it. I don't know about calling it horror. So, oh, you can kind of see it in the poster. Does this open up the poster bigger? No. You can kind of see it in the poster where they all turn into monsters and they're kind of fighting to save humankind from like other monsters, and they're like the real monsters, but there's this scientist guy who's modifying human beings to be like monsters. I found it quite watchable, but my understanding is it says source original, but there's something really, really 90s about the monster designs. And basically in the end, like, if there's supposed to be this cool moment of you turning into a monster and it's not cool and it doesn't have a lot of impact, and I think the monsters look kind of stupid, it kind of hurts the show. And honestly, this is one of those shows where I didn't say, like, screw this, I'm going to stop watching. I just stopped watching. I kept skipping it when I, like, if I had to watch an anime, I was never watching this one. And then eventually I was like, oh, I'm just not interested in watching any more of this. If someone told me this had, like, an absolutely amazing ending, I would go back and watch the rest, because I wasn't mad at it, but wasn't that into it. Symphogear! I think technically all my Symphogear videos are on the Anime Indecision channel, which I'm guessing is pretty much defunct at this point as a channel. I fucking love Symphogear. This is the final season of Symphogear, and it just tied everything up really nicely. I have a video on Anime Indecision where I talk about how much I love Symphogear, and then not this season, but the previous season, for the first 5 or 6 episodes, I was making a video for each episode. But I'll give a brief description here. So this is like a magical girl show, but instead of like flowery, ribbony, flowy material, their costumes look a bit more like armor, and they have actual weapons. Like, they have scythes and swords and guns. And they power their magical girl armor through song. So they're always singing during the fight scenes. And that's where the show makes its money, is it sells all those songs as character singles. Singles. I can speak English. And this show, like, everybody be sleeping on it. It was marketed really hard to male otaku, like the kind of male otaku who follow all of those idol shows. Like, I want to buy Symphogear merch, and I can't find any Symphogear merch I want to buy, because it's all like, look, the girls are in bikinis, and I'm like, I kind of liked that the girls kicked ass. I didn't really need a cleavage mouse pad. Thanks, though. I'm surprised I don't hear more girls into it. This is... Also, if you're into Yuri, this is not officially a Yuri. You're never going to see any of the girls kiss, but they're so slashable. Like, it's so Yuri without being Yuri. It's ridiculous. There is literally a scene in this show where the main character punches Everest so hard that it's no longer one of the tallest mountains in the world. She just took a chunk out of the middle. I love it. I love it. Yeah. It's maybe not something that's like high quality, thoughtful entertainment, but if you want some really fun, ridiculous trash, Idol Show, didn't watch it. Japanese historical drama, did not watch it. I know it says adventure, but... Tri-Night's high school rugby show, Did not watch it. Doesn't look like it did very popular either. I'm not against Bishonen short sports shows. I've watched several hundred episodes of Prince of Tennis, but didn't try it. Idol Show, didn't try that. Idol Show, didn't try that. Did not try Business Fish. I didn't super like Agretsuko. It wasn't bad, but I wasn't into it. And I feel like this is probably the first of many shows trying to be Agretsuko. Card Fight Vanguard, did not watch that. And whatever that is, did not watch that. These are some like short animes, so they seem like, if you look at it, you're like, how is this a short anime? It has 12 episodes. But these are like 10-minute episodes instead of 20-minute episodes. I watched the first episode of Tejina-Sempai and did not find it very funny or very sexy. And if you're going to be a comedy ecchi, you really got to be at least one of those things. Like Sounan Desu Ka, which is also an ecchi comedy. I don't know why adventure is tagged here. It's way more ecchi than it is adventure. So there are 4 high school girls. This says because of a plane crash, which I was not aware of. 4 high school girls are stuck on a deserted island, but they're really lucky because one of them is basically Bear Grylls' daughter. So she's literally the daughter of this crazy survivalist, so she knows everything. So the comedy comes from her saying, like, this is what we need to do to survive, and it running up against the everyday delicacies and sensibilities of a modern high school girl. There's a lot of ecchi. Some of it is very natural, like they're gonna take off their shirts and skirts and go swimming in their underwear and bra. Now, there's a more ecchi way of presenting that and a more, like, matter-of-fact way of presenting it, and this show is somewhere on the middle towards the ecchi side. But this is another example of a show where more often or not I found the ecchi funny. Did not watch this. This is the 7th season of something, or this, or this. Yeah, so that is pretty much it. Feel free to talk in the comments below about anything you think I absolutely slept on and really should watch. And I am going to try to do the same thing going on, so in a couple months, I will make a video about fall 2019. That's the plan, at least. I think we all know how I am at the idea of ongoing series of videos consistency. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like. If you want to make sure you don't miss the next episode, you can subscribe, or you can follow me twitter.com/Orestria. Alright, see you next time. Bye-bye.